Lily Dawson slept on a folded towel because the floor was colder than the towel. That was the kind of math an 8-year-old should never have known. She woke before the television did. The house at 4 Sycamore Road was still gray with morning. Cold air slipped through the gap in her bedroom window that never quite closed. There was no working light in the ceiling. No bed. Just the towel, a thin blanket, and the olive green canvas jacket she wore almost every day because it had belonged to her mother. Lily liked the jacket because it still smelled faintly like her. In the kitchen, the refrigerator held beer, mustard, and half a loaf of bread gone stiff around the edges. Dale was asleep in his chair. One boot was off. One was still on. His head hung toward the dark television. Lily didn't wake him. She filled her water bottle from the sink, slipped her mother's photograph into the front pocket of her purple backpack, and walked to school. Dusty Creek Elementary took her attendance. It gave her lunch. It gave her worksheets. But somehow, it missed almost everything else. Her teacher called her quiet. The kids mostly called her nothing. At lunch, Lily ate half her sandwich and carefully wrapped the rest. Then she slid a granola bar into her backpack for later. She had learned not to waste food. During a quiet work period, Lily pulled a sheet of wide-ruled paper from her backpack. Then she took out her last blue crayon. She stared at the blank paper for almost a minute. She knew what she wanted to say. The problem was that once she wrote it down, it would become real. She finally lowered the crayon. Slowly, carefully. She printed each word as though getting even one of them wrong might ruin everything. When she finished, she folded the paper once. Then again. Then again. Small enough to hide. Lily looked at it. Then at her mother's photograph. Her little fingers tightened around the paper. "Please work," she whispered. At 3:15, Lily was back outside school. No one came for her. No car pulled up. No familiar face appeared. So she walked toward Patty's Diner. She had been watching that place for 6 Thursdays. Not the diner itself. One particular man. She knew the gray truck that yelled into its phone. Not safe. She knew the woman in red shoes who looked straight through people. Not safe. She knew the man who smoked behind the grocery store. Definitely not safe. And then there was the big man on the matte black motorcycle. He always sat alone. He never bothered anybody. He always tipped the waitress. And once, Lily had watched him quietly slide money across the counter when he thought nobody was looking. She didn't know what the money was for. But she'd noticed something else. He looked sad. Not angry. Not mean. So Lily understood sad. She had written down the faded white letters she'd seen on the back of his motorcycle. Coyote. She didn't know what it meant. She only knew it was the closest thing she had to a name. Today, Lily decided she was done waiting to be brave. She crouched behind the blue dumpster at the edge of the parking lot. She could smell old cardboard and rainwater. Her hands were shaking. Then the diner door opened. Lily saw him. The big man walked outside. He pulled on his gloves. She watched him swing one leg over the motorcycle. Her heart started pounding so hard it made her feel sick. She waited. The engine roared. Rex began to pull away. Lily almost lost her courage. Then she ran. She reached the motorcycle just as it slowed near the edge of the lot. She dropped to one knee, reached beneath the seat with both hands, and lifted. Heavy. For one terrible second, she couldn't move it. Then the seat shifted. Lily shoved the folded paper underneath, lowered the seat, and ran. She made it behind the dumpster just before Rex looked back toward the parking lot. He never saw her. The motorcycle disappeared down Main Street. Lily stood there with one hand pressed against her racing heart. Her eyes filled with tears. But she smiled anyway. "I did it, Mama," she whispered. Then she picked up her backpack and started the 2-mile walk home. By the time Lily reached 4 Sycamore Road, the porch light was off. Dale didn't look up when she came inside. He didn't ask where she'd been. Lily went to her room. She pulled the towel straight, lay down, and held her mother's photograph against her chest beneath the thin blanket. She had done the frightening part. She had asked for help. Now she had to wait. For miles north, Rex Harding was standing beneath a single hanging bulb in his dark garage. He had just unfolded the note. And for the first time, the words Lily had been too frightened to say out loud were finally in the hands of someone who might actually listen. Rex stared at the handwriting, then at the door leading into his house, then back at the note. He didn't know it yet, but the little girl behind Patty's dumpster had just walked straight into the one wound Rex had spent 11 years trying to keep closed. And by tomorrow morning he was going to learn her name, Lily Dawson. But there was something Rex didn't know. Lily hadn't chosen him simply because he looked safe. She had been watching him for weeks. She had noticed something about Rex that most adults never noticed. And when Rex finally heard what Maya had to say about that little girl, he was going to understand why Lily had trusted him with the one thing she was most afraid to say. Because Lily hadn't just been looking for someone kind. She had been looking for someone who understood what it meant to lose someone and keep going anyway.